Hello, this is Jeremy83, and this is another episode of Pierre's Path to Glory, and this time it's the American Grand Prix in the United States, in COTA, and it should be a good one. This is quite a fun track of mine, although the track monetization might speak otherwise, as I've done pretty awfully on it. I've got quite a lot of green scores and red in the S section. It's quite difficult to get every corner right in practice, especially as this is my first laps on this track for quite some time. But still, it was enough for a green score. It doesn't really matter at this point, as we've already won the title, so it doesn't matter about upgrading the car too much. And I've got loads of points in reserve anyway, so I'm thinking about, for the final episode in Brazil, so this is going to be the final series. I know that might be a bit disappointing, but yeah. Through the final episode in Brazil, I might just upgrade the car with the 4,500 resource points that I've got, and see how fast we can make this Red Bull go. But now onto my qualifying lap. It's a bit overcast, and you can see the Toro Rosso of, I think it's Carry, getting in my way quite a lot through this section. Verstappen actually goes purple, and around the final corner now. Can we beat Max Verstappen, my teammate, who's actually gone fastest right now? And I don't think we're going to. No, we are not. To 36.4 for the first lap in qualifying, which isn't the best lap. But this is the final run in qualifying. There's a very short time left in the session. You can see through the S section just how planted this Red Bull is, and how close we can get to every corner, just nailing every apex at this point. And we're purple in sector 1 by 2.5 tenths already. And this delta is just going to keep going up. It's up to almost 4 tenths now through the end of the S section. And towards the end of the lap, we're now 8 tenths up. And as long as I wasn't too far off my teammate Verstappen, this should be good enough for pole position. Or as long as he hasn't improved or something. But now we're coming across the line, and it is purple. So yes, that is pole position for the US Grand Prix. And we are first place. I think Verstappen makes up the front row, so it's a very pleasing day for Red Bull. Well, we could win the constructors today if we don't get absolutely battered by Mercedes. But yeah, pole position by 6 tenths in the end from Max Verstappen, my teammate. Sebastian Vettel in 3rd. Fernando Alonso doing amazingly well in 4th place. And Lewis Hamilton 5th, Kimi Raikkonen 6th, Ricciardo and Mercedes both behind Fernando Alonso, just showing how well that McLaren did. And Kevin Magnussen, Johnny Palmer 8th and 9th, and Carlos Sainz 10th, and Jenson Button just missing out in the top 10 in 11th place, with Valtteri Bottas 12th, carrying quite a bit off his teammate, with Grosjean, Leclerc, Hulkenberg also quite a bit off his teammate Bottas. With Esteban Ocon, Pascal Wehrlein, George Russell and Sergio Perez, the managers of Force Indias, in the back end of the midfield, with the Saubers bringing up the rear, with Stevens 5 seconds off the pace, which is a bit curious, but let's get into the race.
2012, America's on again, off again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. Since then, we've been treated to some incredible races, including, of course, that classic wet-dry championship decider of 2015.
So race strategy, I'm going for a very aggressive 2-stop strategy with the super soft, soft. And I just want to have some fun with this Red Bull. It's the final few races that I'm going to be racing in it, so just go have some fun, race on the hardest tyre. It's 5 red lights now for the US Grand Prix, and it's a short hold and away we go for the American Grand Prix. I've not got a great start compared to my teammate Verstappen. Alonso's overtaken Vettel off the line as well behind me, but Verstappen's up the inside now. It's going to be side by side into turn 1 and a hairpin, and Verstappen's up the inside. I've got to give him the space. I'm on the curb, so I can't get a good exit. Verstappen's going to go around the outside into the S section now. We almost make contact with Verstappen. It's going to be very, very close between the two young teammates here, and Verstappen just about holds it. I back out there as I didn't want to make contact, as we can win the constructors here, so there's no point taking each other out. But then through the S section, I'm going to try and reapply the pressure back to Max Verstappen. We go up the inside of this corner here, and it is going to be able to force Verstappen wide. He runs over the curve and runs off the track, and there we go, back up into the lead. And actually stopped his momentum quite a lot, so we've got quite a little bit of advantage now. And Verstappen actually held up the rest of the field, who are Fernando Alonso still in 3rd place at the minute, so he's on the podium right now. It would be amazing if he could hold off the rest of the grid. But here is Lewis Hamilton going through on Alonso and Verstappen into the hairpin. So Hamilton takes 2nd place now ahead of Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso, but Verstappen is going to keep it at the inside of Lewis Hamilton into the next few corners. And this is the part of the American track which is amazing for racing, as they are still side by side. Hamilton trying to force Verstappen off. There's contact between the right rear and the left front, but Verstappen still tries to hold it up the inside into the Turkey turn 8 S corner. You can just see the lead I've got already over these two. They've been squabbling, but Hamilton holds it around the outside, and it's up to 2nd place now. Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen down to 3rd, so it's disappointing for Red Bull. But you can see by the end of lap 2, I've got a very, very big lead over Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. And we set a fastest lap, as you would expect, it is lap 2. But Hamilton actually beats it, so the gap might not be opening that much. But now these are the sort of gaps I'm working with myself and Lewis Hamilton streaking away from the field. And there's Vettel going for Rival Verstappen, and Raikkonen going for Rival Alonso behind as well. So 2 Ferraris making gains here down the back straight. And Raikkonen takes the McLaren of Alonso, who's probably going to struggle down the straights. But here's a replay of the start then. It was a very, very short hold, which kind of like, I don't know, Verstappen had better reactions than me off the start. I tried to squeeze him into the wall, but he was already there. Alonso was up into 3rd quite clearly. He actually gave me a bit of a tap up the rear end there. But I try and hold it around the outside, but that means I'm on the curb. And the Mercedes, I think it's Ricciardo. There's a bit of contact in the background with the Renault and the Toro Rosso, I think. So yeah, Ricciardo not doing too well from his loaded grid position. And through this X section, you can see how close us two Red Bulls were. and then eventually I managed to do the over and under on Verstappen, my teammate. But here's Alonso, and you just see how bad that start was from Vettel. And Alonso straight up into third place. He's feigned having good starts, so you can just see how close us two Red Bulls were. I did get a bit of a hit up the backside by Fernando Alonso, which might have unsettled the car a little bit, but luckily not too much. Then we're side by side into the S section. They're so close to contact between us two teammates. I'm on the right hand side there, with Verstappen on the left. And Verstappen actually goes right on the outside, takes the lead for the moment, but we all know that by the end of Sector 1, I did have it back in my hands. And yeah, you just see Fernando Alonso got a great view of this as I went up the inside and forced Verstappen to not take the apex, and that gave him a shallow line for the next corner, which meant I could just throw up the inside and take Verstappen, as he had to take avoiding action and go onto the curb quite a lot. But here's the view of Jolyon Palmer. You might see what happened to Ricciardo here. Palmer gets a very good start compared to Raikkonen and his teammate Magnussen, and Daniel Ricciardo actually. He's up into about 6th place at this point, Jolyon Palmer, doing very well. And you can see Ricciardo on the outside. Palmer gets forced wide, and he actually pushes Ricciardo off the track completely. And there's the Toro Rosso thing of Sainz, who managed to capitalise and get the pair of them. But Ricciardo not having a great start at all. But now on to lap 7 in my race, and we're into the pit lane now. I think a few cars have already pitted, and in 2nd place right now is Valtteri Bottas, who hasn't pitted yet, as he qualified outside the top 10. So I think he's on medium tyres, trying a one-stop strategy, very aggressive. So I'm going to have to overtake both the it's the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen, I believe. And there is Jolyon Palmer, who was 3rd, but now it's Nico Carey into 2nd place. It's Raikkonen from Carey, and then there's me coming out the pit lane, and Valtteri Bottas there, who's also going to get the position just about, I think. So yeah, I'm down to 4th place after the pit stop, and I think at least Carey and Bottas are going to be trying one-stops. Raikkonen, I think, might be on a 2, but still, I'm going to have to overtake these cars if I want to win this race, which I very much do. But now onto my outlap, we've set a purple middle sector, as you see on the minimap, and we are trying to pressurise Valtteri Bottas, I believe this is. He forces me onto the curb completely. I'm going to try all the way around the outside now. And that is a very, very nice move around the outside of one of the longest turning corners in Formula 1. And that was an amazing move around the outside. I know we have the better car and the better tyres, and he's on mediums and we're on fresh super soft, so it should have been an easy move, but we made it look nice anyway. And here is Nico Carey, who I've caught a few laps later. And this is now the fight for the lead between myself and Nico Carey. Obviously we had a very great battle in Spa earlier in the season, which I managed to win by not even 1,000th of a second, but that was quite a close one. But now I've gone deep into the turn 1, locked up, didn't lock up, I just broke too late and went straight on. And now we're going to try and have to stay behind Carey through the S section. We could try a similar move to the one we did on Verstappen at the start, but I've gone quite wide there, not too good line to take through the S section. But now there's a yellow flag behind me. I'm not sure what's happened here, but Sebastian Vettel is out the race, so the Ferrari is now out, and he was running about 4th place in his virtual safety car. So let's have a look at what happened. Here's Vettel in the midfield behind, I think it's Charles Leclerc in his Haas. There's a big engine failure, and that's right into the helmet of Daniel Ricciardo was behind him. And yeah, that's my teammate behind them as well, so not doing too well, the other drivers who were on 2-stop strategies. But now I'm still pressurising, the virtual safety car's gone in, and I'm pressurising Nico Carey for the lead of the race. And it looks like with the DRS open and the slipstream that I'm going to get from Nico Carey, that should be quite a straightforward move. But we are alongside now, and the Toro Rosso's got quite a straight line speed, so the DRS is not working too well. I'm on the inside, so I'm going to have to brake early, unfortunately, because I was on the inside. Carey's got quite a straight line speed in that low drag Toro Rosso. He's going to try and hold it maybe, but no, he doesn't. He just about backs out, it looks like. But he tries to stick his nose in perhaps, but no, we've just about held it around the outside. And now we're back up into the lead of the race, and Nico Carey could be on for a good result here. I've actually gone wide, so Carey could have a chance, but no, he doesn't. Here are the gaps I'm working with now. It's myself in the lead from Valtteri Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg. Very strong showing for Williams at the minute, but Lewis Hamilton trying to take away Hülkenberg's 3rd place. And here's Kevin Magnussen overtaking Kimi Raikkonen as well, so very close racing between the AI here. And now on to lap 16, I'm going to go into the pits for the soft tyres, just 12 laps to the end. And yeah, hopefully this can be a good pit stop. There's a few cars coming around on the minimap. One of them's my teammate, I believe. Who, oh no, I'm not sure, but I can't quite see on this minimap because it's quite small on my screen, but still a 2.7 pit stop. My teammate's also in, so it was my teammate, but Verstappen isn't going to overtake me since he's in the pits. But now there's a car going past, I believe it's one of the Williams cars, probably Valtteri Bottas, as he was to lead Williams, who's, I think he's trying to go to the end on his one-stop strategy. And I've just come out ahead of a few cars behind me, but I've actually gone way too deep into turn 1. I was on the wrong line, I took a really bad exit. And now the Mercedes thing of Lewis Hamilton's also taken me, and there's a Ferrari of Raikkonen behind. The sole Ferrari left in this race, but now onto my outlap, lap 17 still, and we're trying to pressurise Lewis Hamilton, who is also going to the end, so I've got to try and overtake him here, but we're all over his back end, down through this final sector of this straight, but he's not going to the end as he pulls into the pits, and that probably will be for another set of super softs. And Valtteri Bottas is also into the pits from his medium tyres. This is his first stop of the race, so he's gone very, very far on his mediums, but onto soft tyres for Bottas, and he's going to be going to the end now, so now these are gaps I'm working with. myself in the lead from Kimi Räikkönen going to the end, from Nico Carey going to the end, and then it's Lewis Hamilton who's trying to close down on the Toro Rosso, with Valtteri Bottas 5th and Hülkenberg 6th, with Daniel Ricciardo 7th, and I think that's Julian Palmer, and then my teammate Verstappen overtaking Leclerc. So he's not doing too well in 8th place at the minute, but here's Lewis Hamilton who has caught up to Nico Carey now. So he's going to try and go for a move on Nico Carey, the young driver in the Toro Rosso, who's done very well this season, but Hamilton just about takes his position away. But then the lap 22, which was the lap that overtaking we just saw was on, I do set a fastest lap. Just shows how far ahead of the competition we are. But here's the battle for low end points. Magnussen going past Hülkenberg now. Hülkenberg struggling, I believe, as he isn't really matching his teammate. He's going to hold it up the inside into the next few quarters on Kevin Magnussen. And Carlos Sainz behind might try and capitalise here, as Carlos Sainz is still in a very nice battle with Sebastian Vettel in the championship. But there's Lewis Hamilton once again overtaking Carey, as Carey managed to DRS back past him on the following lap. But Hamilton takes it again, and now here's Carey coming back at Lewis Hamilton, the 4-time world champion in this career mode. But Carey comes back at him, he goes back up into 2nd place, and Raikkonen back up into 3rd, I should say. Raikkonen's still in 2nd. But now back onto our POV, and we're going to come around the final few quarters to take the victory in the USA Grand Prix, and it's going to be the Constructors Championship as well for the Red Bull Racing team. We come across the line for the victory, and that is very nice indeed. So I win the race from 8 seconds at the end for Lewis Hamilton. He managed to overtake Carey and then actually close down Raikkonen and pass him as well. So very well done to Hamilton, managing to recover 2nd place, with Kimi Räikkönen 3rd, Nico Carey just missing out on his podium in 4th on his 1 stop, with Ricciardo, Verstappen, Bottas, Magnussen, Sainz and Hülkenberg rounding out the points, with Palmer just missing out on his 2-stop strategy. But Hülkenberg managed to recover into the points after looking like he was in trouble earlier in the race, with Alonso disappointingly 12th place after running in the podium earlier in the race, with Grosjean, Button, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Pascal Wehrlein and Esteban Ocon, Giovinazzi rounding out the finishers, and Will Stevens and Sebastian Vettel both getting technical issues with their engines, and yeah, they're out of the race, both of them. And the championships now, the constructors are sealed, the drivers are sealed, but it's quite a tasty battle for 2nd place going on between Hamilton and Verstappen. You couldn't put Ricciardo and Raikkonen there, and Sainz is still ahead of Sebastian Vettel somehow. And yeah, very well done to him. And let's get on to resource points then. As I said, I might just spend all of these for the Brazilian Grand Prix, just to see how fast we can make this Red Bull go. But comment if you want that. But this is JOA3. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and I will see you next time.